So most people don't really know what they talk about creatine. They have heard that it's good to take 5 grams and that it's good for muscles and the brain. Okay, not really a bit, yes, I'm going to explain. So first, creatine, you will be surprised maybe, is created usually by the body. But yes, the nature has been very careful with energy so that we don't make a lot of creatine, and so that if you add creatine, it's going to have some effects that I'm going to describe. Secondly, in order to make creatine, the body makes creatine with the liver and the kidneys, and so it uses some amino acids, in particular glycine, that we tend to lack in the second half of life. So I would not only give creatine but also glycine at the same time to use the body natural function. It's usually better to give the fuel than the result because the body knows when to act and by how much. So glycine is usually completely forgotten in what people say. Secondly, so how does it work? Most people just don't know, but it's of course easy to look at the literature and has been well studied. So in fact, creatine is going to give more energy, not in the form of creatine, but something called phosphocreatine. And in fact, the transformation between the two is done in the mitochondria when it generates ATP. You know, ATP is the energy of the cells, and the mitochondria, they use the oxygen you breathe and the food you eat. It goes in the cells and it helps the mitochondria make ATP, the energy. And it also makes phosphocreatine from creatine. And this phosphocreatine is going to bath in the liquid of the cells like a phone battery, in fact. So that's when you need a boost of energy, when you want to do something hard, you are going to consume phosphocreatine in order to rapidly make ATP. That's an additional ATP, not in the mitochondria, but in the cytosol, in the liquid of the cell. And so when you take creatine, you have more of this battery. This is how, if you want to do some intense impulse, instead of having it last 2 seconds, it's going to last 5 seconds approximately. That's what has been measured with people who take 2.5, 3 grams of creatine daily. You may be surprised, you thought it was 5 grams. In the literature, the effects have been documented with 2.5 and 3 grams, rarely 5. Doesn't mean that taking 5 is bad. It's probably an escalation dose to increase a bit your reserves. But if you do it regularly, 2.5 is fine. And so that's why in the chocolates we have put 2.5. In the coffee, because we have a bit more space, we put a bit more, 5 grams. But 2.5, according to the literature, is like the beginning of the plateau in terms of effects. So that's to correct a few mistakes or adjustments, because it's not mistakes, with respect to what you know. And then maybe I should say also muscles. So in fact, it's just going to be more battery inside the muscles, so that when you want to give a boost of energy, you are able to have it last longer at the beginning. And in the brain, it's exactly the same. The neurons, they are going to be full of creatine, in fact, all the cells. And so they are going to be able to create this boost for a few more seconds. And so this is how you have a better cognition, you have a better strength if you want to do something hard. And so typically, you know, to assess health, as I was showing with the kit, one way is to blow hard and one way is to press hard. And these increase by a lot. My own estimations based on what I've seen is like 5 kilograms easily, or maybe more, with people who take creatine regularly. And so is it an artifact or is it real health? I think it's real health because it's better cognition, it's better strength, it helps you not fall, etc. So it makes sense that it's better health. So yes, creatine is good. Now I should say, in the mice, but they didn't make them do a hard exercise. And of course, we have to be careful between the translation between mice and people and the details. We didn't see a clear evidence of increased lifespan. No reduced lifespan, and there are these benefits. So at least it's good for these benefits. It doesn't seem to be bad overall, but it's not either a magic longevity solution compared to other things like glycine. Thank you.